So here I am with part 2 of my video on post-dating of patent applications. So as I had mentioned in part 1, I'll be dealing with question papers of the previous year's patent agent examination, and we'll try to solve some questions that have been asked therein. So while browsing through the question papers, I have question papers for 2008, 2010, 2013, 2016 and 2018. However, I couldn't find many questions that have been asked. At most, I could find only 3 questions. Probably the reason behind that is because this is a very complex section. Section 9 read with Section 17, and thus the Patent Office has not asked so many questions on this topic. So these are 2 questions that I found in the papers of 2008 December and 2010 January. These are almost similar questions which provide you with a specific situation. So what the question provides is that you have filed a provisional specification on this particular date, and under section 9(1) you know that you are required to file a complete specification within 12 months of this particular date. But the client has told you that they are not in a position to provide you with the details so as to file a complete specification. The first question says that they can only provide you the details by this particular date, and the second question doesn't mention anything like that. It just says that the client is not able to provide you with the instructions in the prescribed time period. So this could be considered a boogly question, maybe, because the patent office is expecting that probably the person would answer that they'll post date a provisional specification by the max 6 months under section 17(1). However, that would be a grave mistake, because if you would have noted from my first video on post dating that a provisional specification as such cannot be post dated. And where are we getting that from? So if you remember, I had referred to a decision, Standy Pack versus Oswald Trading, wherein the first line itself in paragraph 8, it says that it is crystal clear that post dating of the patent can only be done to the date of filing of the complete specification. So you cannot as such post date a provisional specification. So you cannot say that I'll file a provisional specification and then ask for post dating of the same. And also please note the last line, which says that provisions of section 17 are subject to provisions of section 9. So this is a very important observation in the decision. So now, as per the provisions, you filed a provisional specification and you are required to file a complete specification within 12 months. So that date is 15/12/2008, but you are unable to file it because the client is not able to give you the instructions or the details by at least around 15 February 2009. So this goes beyond by 2 months. So this is the fact of the situation. So let us now see what are the different scenarios that can be explored for answering this question. And for the first scenario, I'm very thankful to my subscriber Shilpi, who has given this answer. So I'm just taking it from there. What you can do is you can withdraw the first provisional specification that has been filed on 15th December 2007 under Rule 26. And after that, within 2 months, that is by 15th of February 2008, you file another provisional application, which is PS2, and take 12 months from here and file a complete specification. So by that time, your client will be able to provide you with the instructions, and thus you will be ready with a complete specification by 15th of February 2009. What this entails is you are losing this priority by extending the date by 2 months. So you have cancelled the previous provisional specification, you have missed this priority that you had obtained, and any prior art that comes within this 2-month period could be dangerous for your patent application. So let us explore a second scenario. You have a provisional specification. So you ask your client whatever details they have, you file a complete specification within the 2-month period. So by 15/2/2008, you file a complete specification. Then under section 9(4), you ask the controller cancel this provisional specification. You post date your application to the date of the complete specification. So this becomes your effective filing date. Now you can apply section 9(3) and get this complete specification converted to a provisional specification again. And then within 12-month period, you can file a new complete specification. So this date effectively then would become 15/2/2009. This is the time when your client is able to provide you with the information. So by that time, the client would be within this period, the client would be able to provide you with the information, and you can file a new complete specification based on that. But this is a very long process. The first approach is the shorter process that you can use for this strategy. I also thought of a third scenario. Since you are a patent agent, you are required to, in a way, suggest all different scenarios to your client. So this is a third one that you can suggest to your client. So you file a provisional specification, and then with whatever details that you have, you file the complete specification. However, the complete specification should at least include all essential details. And then under section 57 to 59, you can ask for a later amendment of this complete specification to include whatever details have been missing. But as I said, this amendment would always be subject to section 57 to section 59, and thus this has a very limited scope. You can always suggest to your client that this could also be done. However, it all depends on what is the extent of information that your client is able to provide you within the 12-month period by which the complete specification needs to be filed. So what we are doing is we have a provisional specification within the 12-month period. We file a complete specification, and then when the client is able to provide you with further details, you file a form 13 and amend the specification. But as I said, this would be subject to section 57, 59. So these are the provisions that would apply here. So these are the three scenarios I could think of as of now, but as and when I get to know of more scenarios or more ways of answering this particular question, I'll add those to the description box. So please do check the description box so as to check if there are any edits to this strategy. The next question I found was in 2018 paper 1. This does not directly refer to post dating, it just refers to post dating in the passing. So this provides that an ordinary application has been filed along with a provisional specification on this particular date, and there has been no post dating of application. So it requires you to identify which are the options that are correct. So out of the different options that have been given, only option B is correct. So you cannot in a way extend the date of filing of the complete specification either by filing form 4 or by filing a petition under rule 138. So you have to file the complete specification within the 12-month period under section 9(1). So this is all about post dating of patent applications and the solved questions for the different patent agent examination papers. So in case you have any further questions or comments, please drop them in the comments box and I'll be happy to answer those. Thank you very much.